Good morning. It's 10 a.m. here in the Pacific Northwest, and good afternoon to mainly my peeps on the East Coast. I hope everyone is having a good start to their day. Typically, Heather doesn't go on this early at her time, but today is a very busy day in our community on TarotTube and YouTube. So I thought I would go ahead and get an early start on. So we are having our full moon in Gemini tomorrow, and very excited. For me, new moons are my favorite, but we also love seeing the big full moon in the sky shining bright. Um, her divine light guiding us. Um, so yes, so give it a few minutes to see if anyone shows up, and while I'm waiting. Um, so tomorrow I will be doing a booyah girl. How are ya? Good afternoon. Um, so tomorrow Ben and I are going to be hanging out again is it tomorrow? Yep, tomorrow's Thursday. This week, I tell you, as Nancy would say, I tell you what, this week is just zipping by. So tomorrow, Ben and I will be doing our music, movies, and mayhem show. And he wanted to focus on the 80s, of course, best decade ever. Although, the 70s and 90s had its strong points, when music was music. So that will be at 12 p.m. Pacific time, 8 p.m. GMT, which is UK. And so that would make it 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So, and then Friday, I have two shows. First, starting off at 1 p.m. my time, which would be 1 to 2 to 4 o'clock Eastern, and 11 a.m. Hawaiian time. And Jonathan Daly and I are going to get together for another painting live session together. So we are very excited about that. So bring your craft supplies, your art supplies, whether it be crochet, sewing as well, and maybe make something for a loved one for the holidays, because nothing, really says I love you. Well, I mean, yeah, nothing extra says I love you most when you get something handmade and from the heart from somebody. And then Friday, I had to do a little switch up. Ivana was going to be my guest Friday, but unfortunately, my poor dear came down with a really bad cold. So if we can send her lots of healing, love and hugs and stuff, and help her feel better soon. And so joining me instead will be, and I just confirmed this a little while ago, Roman from Gold Wound XY will be joining me to celebrate, because the following day will be my birthday. So he'll be hanging out with me, and anybody else who would like to join can always just, pop in and say, hey, I want to join. So I can always send the link as well. So we got some other peeps popping in. Oh, it says I have 5. So let's back up that caboose. And I'm going to beat you to it, Jax, this morning. Smack that sassy. You know what to do. Hit that like button, y'all. Give it a good little smack. We have Irene here. So hello, Irene, my dear. Good morning. Good morning. Well, good afternoon. I'm the one that's in the morning. So just finished my first cup of coffee, so we should be ready to go. So full moon, cold moon tomorrow. The full moon is in Gemini. So I pulled out my lovely Heavenly Bodies astrology oracle deck and took the cards apart to give like a little presentation here as we go along. And yep, Sassman. Like you told it twice. Yes. Bada boom, bada bing. And let's see. Irene says, this is awesome timing. I just decided to check on your upcoming videos, and boom, you were on. Boom. There's a song that I hear boom, boom. Yeah, we won't go there though. we're going to try to hold back a little bit on the music. So for my cafe astrology that I love to go to every month when I do my full and new moon readings, she's always got great information. So the full moon will actually occur at 6:14 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Thursday. And so it says the Gemini moon exactly opposes the Sagittarius sun. So yes, we are in Saggy season. So let me pull out my cards for today. So let's start it off with the sun. Beautiful, beautiful artwork on this card. And the sun is about self-expression and embodying your truth. And it is currently in the sign of Sagittarius, which is optimism, exploration, and freedom. And I hear the word freedom. Yep, come on now. We all know that song. You got to give what you take. So we set those aside. Little George Michael in the morning. Good morning, Lulu. Nice to see you, my dear. I am a Gemini. Not sure how that relates to the Gemini moon. Well, we'll see what we get here. And of course, it is where's my moon card now? But let's see. I got all my cards all spread out here. So right now, the Gemini moon opposes the Sagittarius sun. And I pulled out the opposition card. And of course, opposition reflects imbalance, a point of tension, and power struggles. And we'll explore that a little bit too. But when it comes to oppositions on a chart, it reflects an imbalance, kind of them challenging each other. And so the Gemini Sagittarius polarity is a mental axis where Gemini represents the lower mind. And let me grab my Gemini. So again, this full moon is in the sign of Gemini. And Gemini is about curiosity, intellect, and networking. Nice, nice, nice. Because also, if I have my cards here, Gemini is an air sign. And air signs are about open-mindedness, objectivity, and learning. I just love the artwork on these cards. I gotta play around with my light here a little bit later on so they can get a better view or sense of the beautiful colors in this deck, the artwork. And of course, it's full moon. And the moon is about satisfying emotional needs, which I do know she mentioned in here, nurturing the self and others. And of course, the moon is about connecting to our divine feminine, both for men and women. We all both have the divine feminine in all of us, and connecting with that intuition that we all have, our psychic abilities, which we all have in some form or another, and connecting also with our higher power, our guides, our angels, whoever we work with, archetypes. And Gemini, before we get going on, is a mutable sign, which represents surrender, fluidity, and welcoming change. And seeing that we are on, the month of Sagittarius, Sagittarius is ruled by Jupiter. And Jupiter is all about growth and expansion. Biggest planet in our solar system. And Gemini, along with Sagittarius, are part of the Yang symbol. Well, half of, because we have the yin and the yang. So we are looking at proactivity, expression, doing and moving forward, which is masculine, connecting with the sun. That beautiful. There's the common part of the moon down below, but it is a yang sign. And Sagittarius also being a fire sign, which represents confidence, optimism, passion, and bravery. You are an air sign too. Very cool. So we'll get our cards set aside here now. And we will get into the information. Let Heather take a sip. Yes, this deck is very beautiful. And if anyone's interested in like something very kind of to ease their way into astrology, I do recommend this. She has a lovely book like the cards I had last night. This is well made. The artist is like a crafter, painter crafter, and she even crafted and used her artwork for the boxes. Beautiful little, ribbons as well. Her little feather in there. And in the book, you get your cards in a beautiful solid box. And then you have a very nice thick hardcover book, and just full of her crafting, her artwork. And she breaks down and explains how houses are, and she just goes, and it's very simple. For me, this wasn't overwhelming. And with that last workshop I took, what I learned from them, I've been able to apply, and I'm going to start, looking more into houses and astrology. So to me, it's user friendly, and it is very nice packaging. We have a lot of, and you know what's cool about air? Air helps fuel fire. So now this time with Sagittarius, where it's a fire sign, start using all that air that y'all have to get that spark of creativity flaring. Woohoo! So looking at again, so Gemini represents their lower mind, and the Sagittarius represents the upper mind. A Gemini moon encourages us to think logically, while Sagittarius persuades us to think in a far broader manner. So this is where that opposition comes in, because Gemini's kind of like, well, I don't know, let's kind of take it back. Let's think things logically. And Sagittarius says, no, but let's do this. Let's, just really like more spontaneous, more in the moment. And so the Sagittarius symbolizes the quest for meaning and ideas that expand upon the here and now. And that's great because and we can find balance with Gemini with that, because with the Geminis, if they like to think practically or think logically, Sagittarius can help them kind of think outside of the box, help them expand their thinking. The ideas that they get tapping into that Sagittarius energy can help them explore those ideas or ways of thinking a little bit further. Gemini is quite comfortable in his or her immediate environment or neighborhood, while Sagittarius stimulates us to venture beyond. And yes, we are travelers. We love to travel. Hence, I didn't mind getting in the car and driving across the country, to come here. So while Geminis are more like a homebody, they're very comfortable with where they already are. Sagittarius kind of stimulates them to see, come on, do a little travel, see what's more outside there. What can we experience? And it doesn't mean having to drive, across country or anything. Maybe just getting out of the neighborhood, driving, exploring your states, or maybe a couple counties over, but just getting out and exploring a little bit. So let's see. Well, Sagittarius, so neglecting either end of the axes will surely backfire on us. Ideally, a balance should be found between the two energies, and this is what the full moon invites us to do. So the full moon is about communication, attitude, and sense of adventure, along with tapping into our intuition, our divine feminine as well. Something has been building inside of us, and now is the time when the energy of the cosmos fairly demands that we let it out. Over the next 2 weeks, we will discover what this means for us. For now, we can sit on our feelings. We need to express them. So we are allowed, and if we look at the time of year, we are in the darker months. The nights are longer. And even though we're busy with the holiday season, we also have that extra time to kind of sit in reflection, take a step back. Give me fuel, give me fire, give me. Oh my God, Jax, you had to bring in my Metallica girl. Oh my goodness. So, yes, exactly. Rock on. Gotcha, girl. So, give me fuel, give me fire, give me that. So, okay. Woohoo, bringing Heather around again. So let's see what else this says. So right now, okay. So again, this is the time of year. The year is coming to an end. Again, we start doing a lot of self-reflection. And this is the time where if there are things that we didn't want to deal with or couldn't possibly deal with during the year, it's like, okay, this is the time when we make sure that we're in the right space to do it. We sit down and kind of deal with those things that we need to work on or we need to face. This could be feelings, like emotions with the full moon, and kind of tempering, that fiery energy, making sure maybe we learn how to temper a little bit our quick to act, as in, anger or aggression, or maybe, jumping ahead too fast. But this is about kind of tempering that fire a little bit by using it in a very positive way. And weird AIs, yeah, yes. Um, but I like that. I'll have to listen to Metallica now today when we go out. So let's see. So this is a good time to really let our emotions, whether we can sit and talk with a person about them, or if there's something that we need to talk to another one in our life. And if we feel we can't, then sitting and having those emotional discussions with ourselves as well. Moving on. However, these feelings and revelations are emotional ones, as there is a sense of emotions bursting forth into our consciousness. It is time to express ourselves and let things out of our systems. Of course, we might want to exercise some care, like I had said, while doing so, knowing that what is coming out of us is not particularly rational as yet. So, again, with Gemini being an air sign, what suit is associated with tarot with the air sign? The swords. So, this is kind of like the Page of Swords, running ahead, wanting to express themselves, wanting to talk about, and then sometimes opening our mouths and saying something, that we regret, So this is, again, tempering that energy a little bit and thinking about exactly tapping in those emotions and figuring out how we can properly filter them, how we can maybe approach a situation with others and or with ourselves, as well. So the lunation square to the moon's nodes. Oh, so we have a square. So let me go ahead and find my, because it's always nice to learn as we learn these terms. So squaring means a challenging situation and a mountain to climb. So there we go. So when it comes to the lunations, moon's nodes suggest, let's see, hold on a second. Did I jump ahead? Yes, I did. So finalizing plans should be saved for a later date in which too quick decisions and actions, but paying close attention to what's illuminated now makes sense. Through the events or the tensions of this time, holiday season, we can ultimately get to better understanding of ourselves and particularly our desires. So even though the holidays are a very difficult time to express boundaries, it's, I think, a time of season when it's also most needed, so that we don't burn ourselves out, or we don't get so where we suppress emotions of feeling like we're being taken advantage of or under stress, and then unfortunately releasing them without properly processing them in a healthy manner. And I'll insert right here again that this is for entertainment purposes only. This is just me talking about astrology and what they suggest by looking at the signs. I am not a doctor. I am not professional medical. Always seek the help of a professional, as always. And hello. I keep wanting to say good morning because it's still morning my time, but whoops, there she is. Where'd she go? Good afternoon, Kristen, my dear. Nice to see you. So I have some peeps in here, and those watching, lurking, welcome. So, Jax, now try to be positive. Heading towards burnout today. Oh, not gonna lie, struggle bus today, trying to stay positive. Girl, you got this. You're a badass. Look what you've done already. Just make sure maybe at the end of the day, grab another taco, take a hot bath. You can take the taco into the bath if you want, but take a bath, play some music, tell the kids, I need some me time, chill, play some Metallica, whatever it is that you want to do. So here, the chart wheel shows the main important influences. Okay, so they're talking about the chart that's on the channel, on the website. So if you want to see this in full, cafeastrology.com. So we're going to move over now. We're going to do a quick sip. Aster is sick. Oh dear. I'm so sorry. It sucks to be sick at this time of year. I was sick for Christmas once. Did I have strep throat? I had something. Oh, and what's this? You have a procedure tomorrow? So I can't eat all day today and into tomorrow. I'm dragging. Oh my goodness, Kristen. I didn't know that, sweetheart. Well, everybody, let's add Kristen to our list for healing energy. We have Nancy, who's still needing our prayers. We have Ivana, who came down sick. We sent energy to her. Of course, keeping Miss Tarot D and Deb H in our prayers as always. We have Kristen, who's having a procedure tomorrow, sending her support and healing and light through this. Aster, who is not well. And also Selena, Jax, we all have our physical, health problems as well that cause us pain. And so we can just all send each other love and light and just big hugs, picturing each other in our minds and just giving them a nice big bear hug and, sending them, just imagine that beautiful golden light of healing or whatever color, comes out of you that you feel that this person needs at that time. So Diana is getting a biotic limb. Get out of it. Get out. Yeah, get out of it. Get out of here. Well, not get out of here, but And oh goodness gracious, that's probably why I haven't heard from her. Wow. Yeah, that's what she's one strong cookie. Let me tell you, it's amazing what you can learn from Diana. So moving on to the cold moon. So the cold moon spiritual meanings I want to reflect on. And even though people are like, with AI, Copilot actually takes a lot of things and breaks them down to nice little bullet points, which I love. It's going to be known as the Bionic Woman instead of Wonder Woman. Hey, Lindsay Wagner. I think it was her last name was Wagner. Lindsay, yep. So cold moon has us looking at introspection and renewal. This is a time of reflection of the past and preparing for new beginnings. Again, the end of the year, preparing for the new year, symbolizing a cycle of death and rebirth. This is a time for stillness and rests, encourages us to slow down and find peace in quietude times during the winter months. This is going to be guidance through change. Light helps illuminate life's transitions, reminding us of the beauty within the cycles of existence. And of course, this is, also the month of Yuletide, not just Christmas. And Christmas is actually based on, on Yule, or situated around the same time. And this is our ancestors, especially the Celtic pagan people. Early ancestors used to gather, they knew at one time during the year when the sun, the night was the longest, and they all celebrated and waited. And when that sun rose on the next morning, main celebration. So, it's the celebration of the rebirth of the sun. And let's see, connection with nature. The cold moon signifies changes, of course, naturally. In nature, inviting us to pause and reflect on our journeys, especially when it's cold and you just want to stay curled up in those nice warm blankets. We don't really get snow here, so I kind of miss some of the snow already a little bit, but even enjoying, looking out the window with a nice mug of cocoa or hot tea or coffee and watching the snow fall. So this is a time when even nature's taking a rest, nature's taking a break, and we can follow suit and pause and reflect on where we are in our journeys right now. I want a bionic limb that doubles as a taco arm. Jax. I have an air fryer, and the one I got wasn't I don't think was the right one. I didn't get the bucket one. I got the one with the racks, and I think I should have gone with the bucket, but and hope for new beginnings. It inspires hope for new and exciting things to come as we set goals for the future. Just like, the very first Star Wars movie, you know, hope. That was, yep. Anyway, had to bring some Star Wars into that. I mean, Jedi, working with nature, working with the Force. So there, that's what we have. So I found a wonderful spread for today. I got a Ninja 3-in-1 air fryer bake convention. Mine does that. Yeah, mine bakes too. I haven't used the baking though. I'm not good at baking, and I probably could be if I put my mind on it. Oh, sorry about that, Kristen. So let me set the cards. I'm going to be doing something with these cards where I'm going to separate and see what plans. Actually, let's try that today. What planets for this full moon? Maybe their energy we can tap into. And I'll leave the moon in there as well. I'm your Venus. I'm your fire. Your desire. So there, girl. We got some of that in there. So you know what? Let's just put these all here together. Let's just use this deck. The houses I will keep separate. Maybe flip. So I'm going to go ahead. And I noticed I lost a bunch of people too. Well, I like to read and share information before I do my show. So sorry, not sorry. The bucket one is lame. Had it the last time. Jason bought it for the air. All this is burn shit. Wow. So y'all know what to do. Let me pull up my. Good thing having having an iPad and having a laptop is now I can bring up things on my iPad that I can see better than I could on my phone. So the tarot spread for December, cold moon. Oh, don't worry. You can. So cold moon is going to be 4 cards in the spread. First one is where have I laid down strong foundations? The second card will be where do I need to set new goals? 3 is where I can expect structured growth. And where will I experience shifts? So what I'm going to, let me see. I am going to pull, actually let's start off with a Yuletide. So we'll do a Yuletide. Gotcha, Irene. So I do have my Winter Tarot, and I also have the Heavenly Bodies. So this is going to be more than 4 cards, apparently. So let's just see what the main message first, Irene, is from the Yuletide. This will be separate from the spread. Okay. The old trailer we had was so old that, yeah, I won't even go there. We couldn't really have anything. So for you, Irene, your Yuletide card is Poinsettia and Lulu. Alrighty. So we have Irene, we have Lulu. Alrighty, so cast the shadows, scream silence at them, dear witch. What lurks inside transforms into the most beautiful of beauty. And that's exactly what today's energy is. Finding that balance, being able to express your emotions, not to repress them, but do it in a safe and healthy manner that's best for you. And I just love that. And I love poinsettias. They're so beautiful. I can't have them because of Kitty. And the last time I had a fake one, it got covered so bad with dust. I was just like, I had to throw the whole thing out. But what lurks inside. So everything that's been pent up, release it in the beginning in a very healthy manner. Writing, going out to nature if you can, Irene, and just, if you can do a silent scream, or if you feel safe where you can scream, um, you know, just being able to process, those emotions. I have a power bank, but it needs recharge, so quick launch meals is the goal. So you got solar panels. Wow. And so let's see which heavenly bodies you know what's about screaming? Primal Scream by Motley Crue. Primal scream and shout, ooh, tear that sucker out. Yep. You just gotta say, hey, come on. Alrighty. The 70s. I don't know, I was born in 82. Some people can say screaming into a pillow. There's all sorts of things where people can go in and they can sign up and they can break china, glass. I mean, I don't know. I feel bad for that china because somebody took time to make those things, but I digress. So, Irene, your top card for your zodiac, you got Virgo. So, at this time, integrity, reverence, and service. And your underlying card is self-express, embodied truth. You got the sun. So, astrological wise, with these cards, the heavenly body wise, we are looking at maintaining that sense of integrity, especially with what things that you're going through right now. And that reverence and service, continue being that kind soul that you are, and the service that you do for others, but also making sure you do that for yourself. I love how that self-expression and embodying your personal truth and integrity came out together for you. And that continued reverence and service that you show kindly to others, and to make sure that you do that for yourself. And so with the spread, where have I laid down strong foundations? Rage room. Oh, wow. Psychodrama. How very interesting. Where have I laid down strong foundations? Let's see, where do I need to set new goals? Where can I expect structured growth? And where will I experience shifts? Hopefully that's not too loud when I do that, y'all, on your end. So, where have I laid down strong foundations? You got the artisan. Let me find again what artisan. I think artisan represents... I got lots of new books to learn. Artisan represents would be like the queen. So you basically got the Queen of Swords. Where have I laid down strong foundations? Girl, I love this for you. That Queen of Swords, she's all about clear and direct communication, does not mince words. There's a bit of that tough love in there, but she's someone that is nurturing, but also will not be taken advantage of. She speaks and dictates her thoughts, her feelings. She's grounded in them, and she knows how to express her needs and what she. So let's see what this book says here. It says here, don't let the image of the Ice Queen fool you. Beneath that cold exterior is a generous and compassionate heart. We know already that you have that, my dear. She's always eager to help, but lying to her is not a wise strategy. So this is basically somebody that you do not cross. And if I could make a I don't know if I should make that kind of joke here on, nah, I'll save that joke for a show that's supposed to be a little bit more funny. Um, she's always, so yeah, you don't want to lie to this woman. Especially with her sword, because you know that old saying, I'll cut a, you know what. So I'll just leave it there. Her eyes shine because she's not a naive. So you can't pull wool over this woman's eyes. She can, it's that also that clear connection with her psychic self as well, because swords thoughts connecting to our higher power, our guides, are in our psychic selves. So she has the ability not just psychically to be able to see, but she can see through wisdom and experience, and can see when people, she can basically read between the lines. Her eyes shine with knowledge that she can pierce your soul and see the truth no matter what you tell her. So the strong foundations that you laid, people know that they can't get away with shit with you. Here, let me do this. So I like that. Um, Let me see what else that they suggest in here. Uh, Cold hard truth, sharp logic, with motherly instinct and compassion. Doesn't like small talk, so this is something interesting. Won't sugarcoat anything. Yes. So again, she's willing to share you're willing to share your wisdom and guidance with people, but not to pull something on you, because that would be probably their very last mistake that they do. That's kind of like, fool me once, I'll forgive you, fool you twice. Well, that's on, so she's good about seeking clarity and cutting away anything that no longer serves her. So this is your energy. These are all the foundations you have laid this year, and you've shared a lot of that with you as well. I'm trying to be that way with my daughter, but it was part of the cycle. Let me see here. Oh, okay. So, alrighty. Where do I need to set some new goals? I got the Winter Hermit. And I know how much you love living in nature. So this is going to be a time, for setting new goals. It's time for reflection. It's time to go within. Again, as whether journaling, meditating, um, asking, spirit for guidance, nature for guidance, all the above. Taking this time to go within and sit and be with yourself, and allowing your soul, your essence, to talk to you. Connect with that. Connect with her. This could be inner child as well, and find out, okay, this new coming year, what do we want to work on? What do I want to work on? And get connected. And you can do that because you are definitely the Queen of Swords. You have that connection, to Source. You have that ability. So take that foundation and start using that to explore, heal, what new. And with that Jupiter, with Sagittarius, being ruled by Jupiter, that's a card, that's a plan of expansion and growth. So this is a great season to be able to do that. Where can I expect structured growth? Well, I got the 10 of Wands. And so, this is looking at, so I'll show you the card. She's got quite the bundle on her back, and she's heading home. She's following the light. She's getting back to home and hearth. And in this card, releasing the burdens. Where do I expect structured growth? What I'm thinking, what I'm feeling is, with this question, with this card, is learning how to carry only what you need to carry, if that makes sense. We all have to take burdens in life, um, to get to where we need to be. Sometimes they're unnecessary burdens. And so it's basically, structure growth in knowing what is yours to carry and what is not yours to carry. And in this card, she's got quite a few wands in there, but these are the ones that she has brought with her on her journey. And with it being the 10, again, we are coming to the end of the year. The 10s are about coming to a completion. And so with the wands, this is all the energy, all the projects, all the motivation, all the inspiration. What she's got here on her back is what is going to light her way now to the house. And so this is going to be the things that she's going to take that are important to her, things that may even be considered a burden, but she realizes, or you realize, that this is something that, has been a part of your growth. And it's hard to see, but there's a couple people, celebrating in the house. So again, this is following your light, only bringing with you what has helped you grow. And these will help you grow. I mean, especially with wands, and you think about it, wands, wood, building, structure, house. So beautiful card for growth. And where will I experience shifts? I got the Ace of Wands. And so by taking home and maybe going through that bag of wands, and finding out and connecting with one particular wand or one of them, and let that be your beautiful guiding light moving forward into the new year. This could be, where I need to set new goals, going through that knapsack of those wands that you've been carrying and picking out the one that you feel where you will experience shifts. So this card is about where will I experience shifts, and this is the ace. This is the hand coming to you and bringing you insight, inspiration, motivation, creativity. So I see you will have a shift. There will be a shift of that moving forward for you. And that's what I have for you, my dear. Ooh, I have got to take some water. It is dry in here today. All righty. Let's see. Lulu, are you still here, my dear? Oh, it says I have 8 people watching, so hello. I would like the cycle. I'm on it. I'm on to complete. It doesn't. So this is something that may, spill over into the new year. But again, carrying with you, I know in traditional, it's burdens, it's things that you're weighing that you need to let go of. And for me, yeah, a lot of those things in the bag probably will be, but you recognize that some of those wands are going to be the ones that help show how strong you are, how resilient you are, and your capacity to be inspired. And when you get to that beautiful cabin, you get to lay out them all out, and then you choose that one beautiful wand to really focus on. So I like that. So did anyone else pop in so that I can say hi? Huge, don't lie to me. That's a no-no. All righty. So Lulu, my dear, are you still here? I gotta get one of those little sound effects where they go ding dong or something like that. That would be fun. I don't know if I have that on I probably have that somewhere on this laptop, and I just not techie enough right now to figure out where it is. So I'll wait to see if Lulu is here, because I like to be able to get her response and to connect with her energy. All righty, what time we are at? We're at 10:44. Ooh. Guess what just fell out as I started shuffling? That Queen of Swords. So this is, that's a good card, This year of, no more lying to not just other people lying to us, but us lying to ourselves as well. Lulu, my dear. I don't know if you are at work and you're away from that's the one thing, when I go live. I know sometimes it's hard because we have internet connections or troubles or something, or we get a phone call. But if possible, if you can't stay in chat, let me know. I know sometimes, we jump around. There she is. Okay. Whoa. As you said, I'm here. That card flew out. So I think I'm going to go ahead and do the 4 card for this first. Let's see. Where do I need to set new goals? And it's so cute. I just noticed on this, I found this. I'm telling you, Pinterest. You find so many cool tarot spreads and cheat sheets and everything. It's really good. Someone put a scarf around the moon because it's a cold moon. Oh, 3. Where can I expect structured growth? Okay. But I will pull a Yuletide card as well. I just happen to have these in my hand. And where will I experience ships? I just found one called the Witch's Broom. Sweet. I'll have to look that one up. Okay, so let's grab a Yuletide card because I love my Seasons of the Witch cards. They're the decks. They're so much fun. Whoa. Okay, 2 came out. I will honor that. And then Heavenly Bodies. Let's see what the planets and signs are saying. Okay. So let's start with the Yuletide. We got 2 of them that came out. And so the first one that jumped out was the card Remembering. Here, let me do it this way. Remembering. Oh, how thy glimpse glimmer in the darkest of sights. Oh, okay, let me try. Oh, how thy glimpse glimmer in the darkest of sights, never forgotten, never still, yet pacing in the mind in the twilight of night. So there is, and she's like her face is covered in veils. How thy oh how thy glimpse of glimmer in the darkness of sights, never forgotten, never still. So this is talk about things that are still going on in your mind, thoughts that are going in your mind, memories, sights, things never forgotten. So this is all about remembering, having those memories and making sure that we don't get drawn into the heaviest of them, that, the memories that we do glimpse and have a glimmer of are the ones that bring us happiness and joy. And making sure that we find time, especially if they're not quite the happiest of them, make sure that they don't take our joy, that they don't run amok in our heads, and to be able to rest them. Sometimes all they need is remembering, acknowledgement, and then being at peace. So for me, this card feels like being attentive to what's going on in your mind. And if you have one of those minds that has a hard time with racing thoughts and things, finding ways, maybe connecting with someone who can help, a counselor, a support group, or researching online ways of being able to cope and be able to channel maybe some of that into art, into writing, maybe even to something in the physical exercise, um, charity, all different sorts of things to help us maybe give honor to those things that we are remembering, to maybe to help heal them. And your other card is telling stories. So that could be possibly something in the remembering of telling stories. So again, here is, it looks like can't tell if it's a grandfather or a grandmother, but it says here, what words so tender can be spoken so bravely unless they are true from the truest of words. So watching the stories that we tell us ourselves, making sure we're telling us the happiest of them. And with this remembering card, For me, this feels about remembering some of the stories and things growing up. Maybe even remembering the good ones, and maybe even acknowledging the stories that weren't quite so true growing up. But during this Yuletide season, being able to go within and reflect and to remember those good stories, that were told during Christmas, like um, even though it kind of scared me when I was a kid, A Christmas Carol. But then also you have Rudolph and Frosty, and maybe even stories, passed down that our grandparents, excuse me, used to tell us by the fire. And so, and then still embracing that into the next generations coming forward. Your Heavenly Bodies card is Pisces, intimacy, intuition, and compassion. So I see a lot of how these are connecting, the remembering, the thoughts. You got the air card as well. So you have the card of one of the cards of emotions. The sign of Pisces has to do with emotions. It's connected to the moon. Again, intimacy, intuition, and compassion for yourself through this remembering, you know. Um, and the air card being open-minded, objectivity, and and learning what you can from those stories. Um, the good ones, the ones that might not have been so good, but finding at this time with the access again being in opposition, with Sagittarius and Gemini, finding that balance between all of them. And so let me just put these cards back here so they don't get mixed up together. So with your tarot spread, where have I laid down strong foundations? I got the Apprentice of Winter Swords, which I am going to be assuming the apprentice is going to be like the knight. So the Knight of Swords. So this is someone who is rushing in. She's got her hands on that lightning bolt, She's that knight. The knight, this knight here is one of the fastest moving ones between this one and the like the Knight of Wands. The Knight of Wands being very fiery, combustible. The Knight of Swords, there's somebody that, rushes in, kind of wanting to save the day, but this is someone who really um, goes goes for what they want. Um, I want to say they blaze their own trails. That might be more of like a Knight of Wands, but with the Knight, they come through. This could be a message coming also, or has come through to you over the year. Here, let me look at the books. I'm looking here. Where have I laid down strong foundations? And with the swords, with the Knight of Swords, um, maybe learning how to not rush and learning how to like the Chariot, get a hold on the thoughts, the communication, um, how fast we speak, how we communicate our thoughts, our feelings with others. And so let's take a look, my dear. Okay, let's see here. A young maiden is standing outside her cottage, attempting to work with dangerous, unstable energy. Yes, it is, Lulu. This is still you, my dear. She may not be able to control it, but she's determined to use magic by whatever means necessary, and it is quite arrogant about her abilities. And these are a strong found. Where have I laid a strong foundation? Hmm. The lightning is becoming so forceful that she could destroy. You know what? That card flew out before I had asked specifically for that position. She's willing to take the risk or is moving too fast to think about the consequences. So this is going to be like an outside energy. Um, so this is acknowledging, watching the work that you do, the magic that you do. Um, According to this card, it could be combustible. It could be dangerous, unsteady energy. And so you're going to, so whatever it is that you might be thinking about doing energetically, or this could be somebody also. Let me pull my pendulum too, Lulu. Let me see what we get here. Give me just a second. So this is Lulu. So my pendulum for me, confirmed for me. This is, so I'm going to go with this, with what it said. So this doesn't represent you working with unstable energy, but this does represent somebody within your circle. I asked if this was somebody other than you, and I got a yes. And I'm feeling that this is somebody within your circle, although I feel, let's pull an extra card. Because for me, I like to get to the bottom of this. The Winter Wheel. So somebody, looking at this card with this other, someone may have had, their fortunes might not have been good this past year. And they are, or their fortunes may have been turned for the negative because of the type of energy they are doing. And self-reflection is needed. So I'm just going to set those cards aside. I'm going to pull, where has Lulu laid down strong foundations? Where has she? Eight of Swords. Okay, so your strong foundation that you've laid, Lulu, is the Eight of Winter Swords. Now, the Eight of Swords is usually the victim card, so to speak. It's an individual who bounds themselves in their own fears, in their own victimhood or bad situations they have been in. But for me, this card is reflecting that this was something that you were able to remove yourself from. So strong foundations is that you were able to see that a lot of your fears, a lot of things that were holding you back were yourself. So this is, acknowledging you saw this, maybe the self-sabotage or the self-limiting beliefs that you had held about yourself and or situations or events that felt like you had, that bound you into this. So this is you taking back your power and moving out of this state of thoughts, of ways of thinking. So where do I need to set new goals? I have the beautiful Ten of Pentacles. So this is you. So this is recommending working towards. So the Ten of Pentacles is like the legacy card. This has to do with our friends, our family, providing that sense of safety, security, and love. It reminds us, especially with this, that a lot of times the gifts, the materialism is fun, but a lot of the gift giving is being grateful for the gifts of having everybody in our life, being grateful for what we have, and celebrating that. So celebrating your legacy, maybe learning again, like we were talking the other day about family, and celebrating family and the legacy that you want to be able to create moving forward. Where can I expect structured growth? I got the Four of Cups. So the Four of Cups is going to be learning to look at not what, now usually the other cup is supposed to be, behind her, reaching out to her. This one here, they're all in front of her, but she's still looking away. So where can I expect structured growth? Learning how to leave what was disappointing to you. The cups represent, of course, emotions. It could also represent our compassion and nurturing for ourselves and others. And it's also about, also connected to creativity, our intuition. So starting to learn how to go within, looking away from things that no longer leave us feeling apathetic, feeling bored, um, with connecting and creating this new beautiful legacy, this energy with the Ten of Pentacles. Um, it will help relieve um, and grow you out of that stagnation, that boredom, that apathy, excuse me, that we might feel. And where will I experience shifts? I got the Initiate of Winter Cups, and this is like the Page of Cups. So exploring new emotional relationships, exploring, new beautiful dreams. I mean, he's flying out into the night. So connecting with your dreams, connecting more with your psychic abilities, maybe connecting with, your creativity, um, and just looking at new ways of managing emotions and feeling them and exploring them and seeing where what emotions that you have that you can use to help grow and develop who you are and on your path. Is that a funnel card? No, it's not. It's interesting. It's just the night sky, and those are the mountains. But the funnel too. Very interesting. It's how we all see and perceive as well. But here, she's just kind of like, nope, I am looking away. So it's one of those, like, certain things will be presented to you, and we're learning how to expect structure growth, learning how to not be apathetic, not feeling bored. This beautiful Ten of Pentacles will be opening up something that will help you be able to work through those feelings, because we have the last two cards are cups. So we move from a mental perspective of entrapment and self-sabotage and fear, moving into the Ten of Pentacles, which is about family, security, stability, happiness, connecting to nature, um, celebrating our legacy, our ancestry, who we are, um, and then learning, by the Four of Cups, we will know, we will move out of that boredom. We will now start looking for things that what emotionally support us, which is another Cups card, and being able to explore. I love this, like exploring the dream time as well. Tiny screen. Mine's tiny too. So, but no, it really does look like it's like a little funnel cloud. Very interesting. So that's what I have for you, Lulu. I know that was a little long, but had to try to figure out some of that. So, alrighty, I'm at 11. I shows I have 7 people. So thank you for those who have been watching. This is amazing so far. Loving this. Well, you're welcome. I'm glad it resonates with you. And so I think that may bring me to the end of the show, unless there is somebody in chat or who's watching that would like a reading. I love Hans Christensen Andersen's Snow Queen. I'll have to look that up. I probably read that as a child. One of my favorites was The 12 Dancing Princesses. I would love to find the actual illustrated book that came out when I was a child, when I had it. So yeah, the stories. stories, the weaving of the webs. And again, with that Ten of Pentacles, Lulu, connecting with the elder sitting, the kid sitting on the lap, and he's reading the story. This is also learning how to listen to the stories our elders, whether they were, and depending on the story, it will show us whether or not we want to change for and do something for the better with our lives, and maybe to heal an ancestral line or to help heal or break a cycle. And or some of those stories can also be things that we hold dear and true to our hearts, that we can move forward and carry on into the next generation and the legacies that we're leaving for others, whether we have our own children, whether we have just nieces, nephews, or even people that are part of our circle that aren't necessarily our blood family, but those who may be like children of friends of families and things. So that little spark can ripple out, that little drop, that spark can ripple out, and touch, um, multiple other lives as well. So, well, alrighty, I haven't gotten another request. So let me just let me take my banner down and go back to comments. I'll be there or be square for, oh, that's going to be when Ben and I get together. It's a giggle fest. I mean, Ben and I turn such bright red. I think this is the one I like. I can't click on that, but later on I will. So everybody have a rest of your beautiful day. I have to go out and have Shan do some shopping and get some gas for the tank. Um, gas is more out here than East Coast. I'm always square. um, that's okay. We're all. What was it that lady said? Lady Gaga said, "We were born this way, not to be ashamed, to be proud, but we were all born this way." So, alrighty, everybody. Thank you again, Jax. Amazing. Um, thank you, Kristen. Um, everybody else too that popped in and said hello, Irene, Lulu, and hopefully I'll see y'all tomorrow for a bunch of laughs. So I knew this, guys. Well, I'm glad, my dear. Mwah. Enjoy your day, and I'll talk to you later. Bye bye.